And we're back again at day 3 of the annual Frontier Securities Investment Conference here in Ulaanbaatar, Mongolia. And I'm joined by Mr. Welland Chu, the Regional Director for Thales Transport and Security, based out of Hong Kong. Thank you very much for joining us, Mr. Chu. It's a pleasure to have you. We all know that as countries develop and companies move up the value chain, it becomes more and more important for them to secure their information, basically, and that's what you specialize in, correct? So could you elaborate a little bit on how you see this and what kind of services you can provide to investors, to companies, to secure their information, basically?
Okay, I'd love to. Well, thank you for the opportunity to speak with the audience, very wide audience. I think, first of all, I'm involved with something called information security. That means we protect the asset in the form of information. Mm-hmm. And as we move upwards in the value chain, the asset will transform from a physical coal mines, gold mine, iron ore, to more virtual in the form of information, in the form of data. Mm-hmm. One of our largest customers in the world are the stock exchanges. 70% of all banks in the world are using our technology mm-hmm. to protect their data, their customers' data, which means money. And what we see in Mongolia over the last 2 days is people are very interested in mining asset and how to promote this mining asset to the wider general public through stock listing or to have cooperation with other companies overseas. Mm. And when we talk about asset, the counterparty, the people who would like to cooperate with you, would like to make sure 2 things. Whether the board, the management, is looking after the asset well, which is part of the corporate governance. Mm. If the board and the management can demonstrate that they have a good measure of risk management in the form of business risk, strategic risk, legal risk, and operational risk. Operational means you want your operation to sustain and to keep moving no matter what. Mm-hmm. And all these legal risk, business risk, and operational risk, they're all part of, or information security will form part of this risk management. Yeah. And our approach to the senior management, both in Mongolia, a lot of the banks here, as well as the banks overseas, is that they have the clear responsibility to help look after the bank assets, the company's asset in the form of information security. And Thales is in the business of protection of these assets. We provide consulting service in terms of risk assessment and then mitigation and how we manage the risk in general.
Okay. You mentioned the banks here in Mongolia and that you secure a large proportion of bank assets worldwide, basically. How do you assess, or what's the current situation here in Mongolia concerning their safety level at the banks?
Okay, well, that's a very good question, and that is quite a sensitive question. So I need to be very careful what I answer.
Absolutely.
I think if you look at the history of Mongolia economy, they have quite a very short period of maturity, and because of the short history as well as the limitation on the human resources, we do see there are limited security in place in many of the institutions here.
So that's a very big opportunity for you as a firm to come in and to improve the situation, right?
Well, I hope the banks and corporate at this moment will grasp it as opportunity and improve the system before the bad guys do. Mm. We are happy to come here to help the customers to improve the security, but at the same time, when there is money, there will be people interested to grab the money from them. So we would like to see the bank and all the corporations have a good way to protect the assets before the bad guys notice this is such a big gold mine, not underground, not something that you have to take 2 months to get a kilogram of gold, but the banks will have good ways to protect themselves and to protect their customers' assets.
Did you find over the past few days that the companies you spoke to are willing to look and are recognizing the importance of this?
Very much so. I was speaking to quite a few delegates in the conference. Some of them are from public sectors, some of them are from private sectors. They are all very keen to learn more about how they can protect the information. And I'm seeing the similar scenario from customers in the governments and in the financial institutions in Mongolia as well. Okay. And people are very keen to learn, very keen to improve on themselves.
Okay. So it looks like you have a very good future here. So we wish you all the best, and thank you for attending the conference. And
thank you, Eric.
Thank you.
Look forward to working on the next millennium.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you.